Yo, they said, book your flight, spend your dollars, come on down. Trump put his name on the ticket, said, welcome to my town. But the visa got rejected somewhere between the dream and the gate. Said your passport's got the wrong color, sorry brother, you're too late. Now I'm sitting on my couch in Tehran watching Channel 4. Somebody's pouring Pepsi in a stadium I'll never afford. The commentator's talking about the beauty of the game, while the man who built the stage keeps screaming out his name. And the fans in Tehran, they wrote a letter to the team, said, we see you on the screen, we see you in our dreams. You wearing green for all of us who couldn't make the trip, cause somebody drew a border and somebody signed a slip. This ain't about a ball, this ain't about a goal. This is 40 million people watching through a hole. They sold us unity, wrapped it in a sponsored flag, then checked your country of origin before they let you in the bed. They're watching from the couch tonight, wrapped up in the colors, no stadium inside. They said the world is watching, yeah, well part of it ain't there, cause the welcome had it fine print and nobody thought to share. We're watching from the couch tonight, hearing every touch like we're standing in the light. The team is on the pitch and we're crying in the dark. They came for the whole world but left some at the park. Now the anchors on the screen, they talking about inclusion, diversity, the beautiful game, the grand illusion. Meanwhile, at the border there's a gentleman in a suit who looked at the application and decided to dispute. Not the man's love for football, not the knowledge in his heart, just the latitude and longitude of where his life had its start. The media spin machine, oh she working overtime, saying nobody got excluded, everything is fine. Showing highlight reels of handshakes, slow motion confetti drops, while the guy in the visa line is watching from outside the cops. Yo, let me be specific, let me make it plain and clear. They brought the World Cup to America in an election year. The man with golden branding on his towers and his planes is using FIFA like a backdrop for his other games. And the cameras love it, front row seats reserved for the narrative that says this country's what the world deserves. But somewhere in the footage you won't catch it cause it's brief. Is a fan without a ticket holding nothing but a grief. And the Iranian team stepped on that grass, and they looked up at the stands and they did the math. 40 million back home who woke up at 2 a.m. sitting on a cracked tile floor with their hands stretched out to them. No luxury hotel, no replica shirt from the gift store, just a small TV and someone knocking on a neighbor's door saying, come watch with us, bring your kids, bring your flag. We're not in Los Angeles but wearing this just like that. That's the message from the couch, that's the letter never sent. We traded seats for satellites and prayers for the 10. You played for every one of us who couldn't clear the scan. You carried every visa stamp, rejection of every fan. Now I ain't saying football's evil, football is a gift, but gifts get used for politics, that's just the nature of the shift. When a host nation's leader's got his logo on the cup and his immigration policies the reason the seats filled up a certain way. R&B and it, we read the ticker tape behind the opening ceremony. There's a policy landscape. They said this World Cup's open to the world entire, then handed out the applications through a filter and a wire. The skeptic in me's asking who controls the crowd, who decides which flags get waved and which ones are allowed. 'Cause when the history books look back on this particular page, they'll talk about the goals and they'll forget to mention the cage. But the fans in Tehran wrote a letter to the team in Farsi in the dark on the light of a phone screen. So we know what you're carrying, we know what this costs. Play for the ones who got stamped tonight and told. Watching from the couch tonight, we put the flags outside the window, turn the neighbor's Wi-Fi on right. Somebody's kid is asleep on somebody's shoulder in the room, and the whole street's watching through a stream that keeps buffering its doom. But the team's still on the grass, and the team's still making passes, and the hearts back home still beat whether or not they got the passes. We read what they buried, we just report what's on the floor. Tonight the floor's a living room in Tehran, and it's louder than before. And it's louder than before. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Take you back before before the whistle even blew, before the draw, before the bracket, before the revenue grew. There was a meeting in a boardroom, somewhere climate controlled, where the business of the beautiful game was bought and sold. They picked the host with handshakes that don't make the evening news, with numbers on a spreadsheet dressed up as good news. And when the host turned out to be the man who builds the walls, nobody in that boardroom heard the irony in the halls. Cause the World Cup needs a villain, and the World Cup needs a stage, and it needs a little controversy scattered on the page to keep the eyeballs clicking, keep the outrage cycles fed, while the actual story sleeps somewhere beneath the thread. And the actual story is a family in Shiraz who saved for 18 months for something that never was, who printed out the itinerary and pinned it to the wall, and got a letter from a consulate that said nothing at all. So now the anchors pivot. Now they're talking about the goals, about the tactical formations and the players' souls. They interviewed the coach, they interviewed the kid. Nobody asked the visa office what they did with it. And Trump's at the final, front and center, prime position, converting every camera flash into a re-election vision. The ball is almost secondary, the trophy is a prop, the whole production is a rally that just happens not to stop. And I'm not saying this to bitter up the game, I'm saying this because the spin machine don't say the same. They'll show you the confetti and they'll show you the embrace, they'll show you the diversity, just not every face. The face that's missing from the stadium tonight is the face that was up at 2 a.m. holding its phone tight, watching on a pixelated screen with the kids all wrapped in green, being more present in the moment than the camera's ever seen. Breaking, fans arrive from 16 nations, 40 turn back at the door. Breaking, organizers confirm the World Cup is for everyone and more. Breaking, sponsors report record merchandise sales across the board. Breaking, man in Tehran can't afford the stream but found the chord. But breaking, human interest story file, family watches from a rooftop. Breaking, anchor calls it heartwarming, segment ends hard stop. Breaking, the bubbles in the crowd erupts, the flag waves on the screen. Breaking, 40 million people clapped in rooms that no one's ever seen. But here's the thing about a wall, it never stops the sound. The chant from Tehran travels further underground. You think you block the passport and you think you block the gate, but you can't block the frequency of people staying up late. Can't block the uncle with the satellite dish on the roof. Can't block the group chat sending clips as living proof. Can't block the grandmother who never watched a match before, who's sitting there and slippers screaming louder than the floor. The team looked up into those stands and saw the number short, saw the empty patches where the Iranian colors ought to fill the air with green and white and red and noise and fire. But the team played like the stands were full, they played like the entire nation was behind them, cause it was just not in person. Distance never made the love of 40 million less, and they carried something heavier than any kid or boot. They carried every stamp, rejection, every denied route. So we watched it from the couch, and we cried a little too. Not because the game was lost, but because of what we knew, that the world said come together. Then it drew another line, and the people with the passion didn't make it past the sign. But the couch became a stadium, the street became a stand, the rooftop became the terraces with a flag in every hand. We're watching from the couch tonight, and we're louder than they planned. The ticket said, sold out, the love was never out of stock. We read what they buried, we just report what's on the floor.